Hello, hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, everything.
All right, thanks. Um, great. Okay. Oh, thanks for raising your hand. I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm trying to. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining in to this session. This is the third day. It's the last one. So, for today, focus is also going to be on some certain skills. Um, Project management, business analysis, Scrum Master, and similar skills. And aside that, we would also be having Anastasia. I don't know if she's on the call yet. I think she's going to join us shortly. She's going to be talking to us about brand positioning, how well you can position your brand. As much as we're trying to learn, and some of us are even in tech, right? Some of us are trying to break into tech. Some of us are trying to switch roles and stuff like that. So beyond that, she's going to be coming to talk to us about positioning and how to set up the brand and personal branding right, just so we can get the best of whatever we're doing. So that said, I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly. Going to share my screen shortly. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Okay. Pause this music so it's not distracting. All right, so is my screen? Oh, yeah, I can see the emojis already. Thank you. Yeah, so okay. So yeah, first skill I'll be talking about is project management, right? Over time we are about to speak about quite a number of skills: front end, back end, developer, full stack, data analyst. By the way, I'm sharing this document today. Immediately after this whole session, I'm sharing the document so we can be able to access these links that has been highlighted there, and get started based on the skill we really want to go with. And yeah, if we still have some more questions, please feel free to reach out. I've had a couple of people saying, "Oh, I think this is a skill I want to go with." I need. I've just been checking YouTube for free materials and stuff. For some of these skills, I may have like the actual free resource you need. So please try to reach out if you know you need something and it's not yet. We could just be able to figure out something together. So that said, we're starting with project management. Now, what really is project management and all of that? Who is a project manager? A project manager is one who, if you say you're a project manager or you manage a project, right, in especially in the tech space. By the way, project management, you could have that in tech space, you could have that in some other industry and stuff, right? It's not a word that is just for the tech industry, okay? But if you are in tech, right, and you're a project manager, all you're doing is you are responsible for planning, executing, and making sure a project is closed. You techies in the house today would, in this session today, would agree with me that there are some projects that never end in companies, right? You just see that they started this project and it has just been there, and sometimes it's silent, and sometimes they just bring it up when the customer needs something, right? But when the project manager is on ground, project manager ensures that there's proper plan, there's proper execution process, and this project is closed. It has a closing date. Yes, the closing date may be elongated for one reason or the other, but there should be a closing date, a defined closing date. In fact, they ensure that a software or a product that is being developed is completed on time within the budget, and it's also there's adherence to the standards, the industry standards, and it meets the quality standards and stuff, right? What do? They ensure that they plan, they manage the schedules, they budget, they allocate resources, and they track the progress. Okay, and they make sure that there's this communication, right, between the project stakeholders. So basically, they work with the stakeholders and also work with people working on the project. What tools do they need? They need tools like Jira, Trello, Asana, and they need to also do all of these Gantt charts and all of that. Understanding project management methodologies like waterfall, agile methodology, and the whole thing like that, right? So all of these things are things they need to understand to be able to effectively work as a project manager. Okay. Soft skills. If you're trying to ask yourself, oh, do I really fall on under this category? Is this like the best for me? Now this would answer your question. Are you someone who takes up leadership of certain things? Are you someone who is organized, who knows how to probably organize things? You know how to manage risk, you know how to communicate clearly, right? By the way, clear communication is something that you should have regardless of any skill you're doing, right? Because even as a developer, you should be able to communicate clearly to your fellow devs. As a designer, you should be able to communicate and all of that. So clear communication is like a must-have skill for everyone. That was a digression. And yeah, negotiation skills, because I've worked on projects where project manager, I would say, this will take 5 days. Project manager will say, oh, let's do it in 3 days. Do you get? And we start we're negotiating. Oh, let's do 4 days, or probably come to a middle ground. You understand? Someone is laughing. You can relate, right? So there should be that negotiation skill, right? And without that, I mean, they will just give you 3 weeks, and you just write 3 weeks there, and they will say, these 3 weeks we didn't factor this thing in, and then it becomes 6 weeks because there was no negotiation, there was no risk management, right? Project manager always sees the risks ahead. If something is going to pose as a risk to the project, they spot it and they address it as soon as possible. Now, who is this role for? Highly organized leaders. By the way, you don't have to be like, in quote, highly organized leader before you say you want to be a project manager. It just means that you think of this as something you want to become and walk that path. Okay, so just know that being a project manager, this is the thing you have to take upon yourself, right? So if you enjoy planning, managing resources, and driving a team forward towards a specific goal, then this is your guy. Scrum Master. So in big organizations, right, or in organizations that have structure to a certain extent, you would see roles like this there, Scrum Master. But sometimes you just see project manager taking up all of these roles, right? So sometimes it's also good to have understanding of some of these tools, have understanding of this, and you may just be able to perform in. Sorry, someone has this mic on meeting. Okay, sorry about that. So I lost my train of thoughts. Okay, as I was saying, it may just be nice to have these tools in your arsenal and you can work as this guy or this guy. But if you're in a more structured company, you can do either, right? Or you can specialize. So Scrum Master, who is a Scrum Master, is someone who facilitates the team working within the Agile Scrum framework. They are not just some manager, right? They have this thing of server to leader relationship, whereby they are ensuring that these people working are following these practices, Scrum practices. They are removing any blocker. They are making sure that this work is not stalled by any factor and it is improved over time, right? They are tracking progress. Okay, servant to leader, because they are making sure that they are getting what's it called, instructions, reporting to project manager, making sure that okay, they are getting the deadlines, they're getting the risks involved in this whole project and stuff, and making sure that okay, they are planning that, oh, if project manager says this project is taking us say 3 months, these guys come up and say, okay, because we have 30 months to complete this project, guys, we're having maybe there's this thing they call sprints. We're having say 15 sprints. In this sprint, this is what we are doing, right? They're breaking up those tasks, and they tell you, oh, this is a board. They use this mirror board, or I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, HEM-HI-HAR-O, right? They use that to just segment this tasks, and you can, I mean, there are other tools, right? And you can just see it, and it's just for clear, communication, continuous improvement. And they tell you, oh, we should have stand-up meetings every day, every maybe 2 days in a week and stuff, based on the complexity of the project. Okay, so what do? They facilitate the Scrum events, daily stand-ups, all of that, retrospective and all. They try to say, okay, what's worked in the last sprint, what didn't work well, what can we do better for the next? Do you get? And then the tools require Jira, Trello, Scrum framework, and all of you need to be able to understand how to facilitate things also. Okay, so that's why I said if you have understanding of this and some of this, you can effectively work as a project manager, or if it's a Scrum Master role you can still work as that if you are able to understand these soft skills and these tools required. So soft skills, empathy, should be able to resolve conflict between the guys working on the project, and you have this servant leadership mentality. Yeah, what is this role for someone who is people oriented, right? You enjoy coaching teams, you enjoy improving processes and helping a group of people work together effectively. So we have these resources. You definitely be getting all of this immediately after the class today, or after this session today. Yeah, so business analysts. So think of a business analyst like by the way, remember I mentioned, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, that on the first day that this some of these roles are not roles that are they are not surface level roles. They are roles that you need to understand some things to be able to perform effectively on this. You understand? For some of these roles, you may need to understand things from engineering perspective before you can say, okay, I want to now become this guy because I don't want to write codes anymore. Do you get that kind of thing? So that's how some of these skills are. So for example, business analysts, what do? They act as a bridge between the stakeholders and the technical teams. So I think some of you will be able to relate to this scenario whereby the person that owns the project, he texted you as a developer, said, guy, Alpha, I heard you develop a mobile app. Say, yes, boss, I do that and all. So, okay, I have a job. I want to do a mobile app that allows people to book for train rides or something, right? I said, okay, nice, good idea. Let's jump on it. Give him his quote. He sends you some payments and you start working on it, right? 2 days later, he just sees a vision in his dream and comes and says, guy, let's tweak this thing such that in that train, while they are going, they can order something and stuff. You understand? Now, what has happened? Then you now say, boss, this thing is not feasible. They can't, and you are like, what's going on? Then this person says, please, if you can't, maybe we just cancel your contract because it probably thinks you are not competent enough to take up the task. And you are like, what has happened within the last 48 hours? Do you understand? Now, that was just some random illustration, right? I've been there. Some of us could have been there, right? And it happens. And why does this happen? It happens because there is no connecting person, or that person that is supposed to act as the person between the stakeholder, that's the person who is emotional about the fact that he's dropping his funds for a random mobile app, and the developer who just wants to build, get his cash, and go for a vacation. So these two guys have what they are looking for, and this one just wants to build, this wants to get his app, and he wants to have everything on that app. But when you have the guy that is in between, thinking from, you know, the business side of things and thinking from technical side of things, says, okay, boss, you know what, this is what you want us to do, this is what is attainable, this is the proposed solution we are giving you that meets your business goals. Okay, document it. After documenting it, you now pass it on to the next person that is picking it up. So now that's just like a way to explain what these guys do and how they work. They don't need to code, but they need to understand technical concepts. That's why I said some of these skills are not skills you just pick up, right? Because you need to understand, you need to have gone through some certain process first. They need to be able to communicate excellently well. They need to be able to actively listening, and I think they also need to be able to negotiate here also, because I mean, if you're managing stakeholders, you're managing guys that have their cash, they would. Let me just leave it there. Anyways, strategic thinkers, they need to be able to understand business processes and translate them into actionable plans for technical teams to understand. So yeah, there are resources here that we can check out and understand better things on this. I hope we are here. I hope you're following. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, technical support engineer. So is a technical support engineer. Some people will call this IT support. I mean, I think we can call that IT support also, right? Basically, people that helps others solve problems, right? A highly skilled problem solver, assisting customers with complex technical issues. By the way, it's not just customers. Even in our tech companies, wherever we work, they are also what tech support guys. Your laptop is not coming on for one reason or the other, you call your IT support manager to help you fix it and stuff. They are just expert level supports. What do? They diagnose and troubleshoot technical problems, investigate post support, bug reports, and replicate issues, just so that they can communicate solutions to the customers or the users, as the case may be. And they work closely with the engineering team to identify and resolve deep-seated bugs. So what skill do they require? Deep product knowledge, debugging tools, ticketing systems, and even ability to read the code also. So soft skills, empathy, patience. Yeah, they should be able to communicate effectively also, and they should be able to solve problems so well. And this role is for people who enjoy solving problems, like I said earlier, and they help people get the most out of a product. Let me be sure our speaker is here. Okay, I think she just joined. Okay, so moving on to the next, SEO specialist. Who is the SEO specialist? I think a good number of us would have heard about SEO optimization and things like that, right? Search engine optimization. So today you build the products, you build the websites, and you've written the codes. You probably vibe coded it, right, with AI, and you have shipped it out. By the way, we'll talk about vibe code, let's say in one of our Twitter space coming up soon. So you put it out there, and you check on Google. You just type the name alone without the whole domain, and it's not coming up. You're like, why? But it's online. But yeah, you type the domain and it comes up. Now, this just means that as much as your website is online, right, it's available to all, it's not ranked so much or as much as those other sites you saw popping up when you imputed that name of your website. Not when you put the old domain. When you put the old domain, it takes you to your domain, right? But when you put just the name, let's say for example, you have a website called lofi.com, but you just type lofi. Then other things that has to do with lofi comes up, but your own website is like on the 15th page of Google search index. You can imagine that kind of thing. It means that Google did not rank, they did not rate you. That's the short form. They didn't rank you so well, and that is not because you are not doing something right. It just means that you need to do a little bit. You need to put in a little bit effort. Now, this is where this guy comes in. The goal of this guy is to make sure that they are increasing the quantity and quality of non-paid traffic to your website. They make sure that things like keywords, what's it called? They analyze keywords, they analyze your website content, they analyze the structure, they make sure that things like backlinks and reputable sites are, you know, are considered, and they ensure that they monitor the performance using certain analytic tools. There are also analytic tools that you would work with while working on this guy. Now, these guys would ensure that there's this thing when you write your when you build your site. I was working with someone recently and he said, "Oh, do you have your site maps? Do you have your there's this robot crawler you have to set up on your website also." Now, if for example you're only a dev, you don't do this. By the way, most devs know have idea of this. I mean, you really should, just to give you an edge, right? Those are things you need to do just so your website can rank better as opposed to, other competitors. But this role is also a focused role. In fact, it's not something you just do once and for all. You do it consistently. Do you get? Because you need to analyze frequently keywords that can help to optimize the website and help it rank faster and better on the search engine. So what tools do you need? Ahrefs. I think I have that. Yeah, I have that here. SEO for beginners. That guide is super packed. You can check it out. By the way, I will advise everyone trying to ship a product, a developer, most likely a developer. Check out this guy. It's a solid tool you should also have, right? A solid skill you should have. So some of them work with WordPress, some of them work with Google Search Console also, and they also understand how search engine algorithms work. What are the soft skills you need if you really just want to focus on this skill? Analytical thinking, persistence, adaptability, because these SEO rules change like constantly. There's a person I spoke with recently, is a marketing guy, solid marketing guy, told me SEO is not, if you do it today, the reason why it changes frequently is, let me tell you this, other brands that uses maybe similar words to whatever you're using your website are also getting updated. They also want to rank better than you do. So you can't stall on it. You have to keep updating and making sure that, okay, my site still ranks top 5, right? So make sure you adapt to whatever changes happens. You have strong communication skills to explain technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. And this role is for strategy guys. If you are fascinated by how this whole search engine thing works and you just want to use data to improve your website performance, then this is your guy, right? And we come to the part of digital marketing specialist. So I'm just going to talk about what I have here. Then Anastasia comes up. Hello, Anastasia, are you there? I just need to know if you're here before I continue. Hello. This person is Victoria replying me. Anastasia, are you here? Okay, so
Yeah, so Anastasia is on this call, but I think her mic is muted. So
oh,
Anastasia, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
okay, sure. Thanks, Devold. Okay, so I'm sure once she's able to respond, she will. Wow.
Sorry about that. Mm, I don't know. My network is just going off and
Okay,
on. But
okay, sure. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. You can mute your mic. I'm going to continue now. I just wanted to know you're here. I doubt she's where she can talk right now. But let me just continue. If possible, she will take up the branding session and stuff. So yeah, for digital marketing specialists, I've had this particular skill like quite a number of times, but I think people mistake it for something else, really. But I mean, let's just delve deep on this. A digital marketing specialist basically makes sure that they are promoting products or brands, businesses across a wide range of digital channels. I mean, um, digital channels, like we all know, they are everywhere. You have the old Instagram, YouTube, social media channels, basically, right? This is a broad road that encompasses SEO, content marketing, email marketing, social media marketing, and paid advertising. But you see, most times there is a misconception that digital marketers do just this, social media marketing. It's not just supposed to be this. If you are calling yourself a digital marketer and not a social media marketer, then you should be able to understand how these guys work. SEO, content marketing, email marketing, then social media marketing involved, inclusive, and then paid advertising. What do they do day to day? They create, curate, manage marketing campaigns, write copy for ads and emails, they manage social media accounts, analyze the performance, right, and improve the conversion rate and ROI. So, okay. The tools, what tools are really required? You need to understand how to use Google Ads. I'm sure a couple of us would have heard of Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and stuff. They need to understand how these things work, how to get maximum um maximum returns on whatever you know money was put in, because these guys, you need to pay for ads and stuff. Email marketing, you need to understand how to use the likes of Mailchimp, and you need to understand how to use scheduler and Google Analytics to track, you know maybe the way your ads has been going, the way people have been using your ads and things like that. All of these tools help in that. Now, what soft skills are needed? You need to be creative. That's first thing, because this whole, I mean, most of us, a huge number of us understand how social media marketing work, right? And if you are just speaking just that, you understand that a lot of creativity is put into that space to be able to try, because there are a lot of guys doing the same thing or similar thing. So you need to think outside the box, have strong analytical skills to interpret data. You have your data from Google Ads, you need to interpret it. Oh, maybe 200 people visited the site through these ads. Maybe 50 or 50% clicked on book now link, right? What happened after that? You need to be able to interpret all of this data. Excellent writing skills, and you need to be able to adapt to new trends. We all know why we are adapting. A lot of things are changing in this whole space. And yeah, you need to be creative yet data driven. If you're someone who is passionate about reaching audiences online and driving business growth, then this is for you. So yeah, there are resources here on digital marketing and whatnot, and yeah, that's really is it for the skills. And with this, I can now call on Anastasia. Are you there? Um,
yes, I am here, but I don't know if you can hear my background. It's not really my background, child. It's the next compound. I don't know what's going on there. So
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So there are two options. Either I just post my slide or I don't know.
Um, the audience will determine. Guys, can you hear us well? Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear.
Okay. So
So the music is not affecting. I don't know.
yeah, I think you can proceed then. We can hear you clearly. So yeah, let's go on. So you need to present your screen, right?
Yes, I can. I
So
can.
I need to know. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, so you can present. I think the sound still keeps increasing. Can you try to talk? Let's see if
I'm muted at this point. I'm muted.
okay, the sound still keeps coming. Okay, so you know what's gonna happen. Um, you can drop the slide, but say we'll try to fix up a time for this because guys, this is not a session that we can just rush, right? It's really not just even talking about a skill. It's talking about how to position yourself well. So um, we'll have that probably as a Twitter space or a Google Meet like this. So Anastasia, you probably just share the doc or something, and we can schedule a time for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. I'm sorry. It's because of this
No, no, no.
Chelsea and PSG match.
At all, at
That they
all,
are easy to disturb me.
at all, at all, at all. Okay, so
All right.
yeah. So that said, yeah, the journey starts now, guys. I mean, for those that journey has started for, it doesn't end there. I mean, we just need to still continue, right? I know quite a number of people. I can see the faces here, and I know that, in fact, they are my bosses. So what am I saying? So yeah, I know quite a number that in this tech space, be it product design, be it front end engineering, back end, full stack, and whatnot. But beyond that, there's always like a next level to things, okay? And that's why I need us to understand. You don't really need to learn everything at once. Pick one or two roles that genuinely spark your interest. Click on the free links. There are still other links, by the way, and I have a toolbox just down here for a lot of things you need to learn. Watch a few videos and try out a beginner tutorial. And I didn't give an introduction day one and day two. I am Similulu Afalabi. I'm a software engineer, right? I am also a startup founder. I build products from, you know, front end side of things or even back end and stuff. And yeah, I do things relating to blockchain engineering. So we're three enthusiasts here. So yeah, thank you guys for the clap. So yeah, if you need to get anything related to this niche I've mentioned, reach out to me. And yeah, I should say that in this whole journey, I didn't start out as a front end dev. It's front end dev or back end dev for right. Just I didn't start my tech career with that. Started with being a graphic designer to being a UI UX designer, and found myself here. So that's why I was saying that even if you're in a particular niche, you really should be able to pivot to something else because yeah, I mean the industry isn't waiting for anyone. Okay, so yeah, so that said, this is not the end of this whole thing. It's just the beginning, right? And we continue. So we'll be having Twitter Spaces, and we'll be having lots of interactive sections. The plan is to ensure that we pick up a skill, we have a community. By the way, we are also going to be making sure that our brand, personal brand, is projected so well, right? Post on LinkedIn, share on the group, let people interact. We'll always interact. I will interact, and others will interact. Okay, so the essence of this is let's learn, let's grow, and let's do good stuff. So stay curious, be patient with yourself, never stop learning, and I'm incredibly excited to see where your journey takes you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining this 3-day session. I see you all, and I am really grateful for this. So thank you so much. Before we just end the whole thing, I really should. Um, yes, I see people are raising up their hand. Don't worry, I'm not ending. I'm not ending the session just yet. I really should give room to people to talk. If you have a question, you have a feedback, you have a observation, whatnot, please. The floor is yours. Say, Miracle Kenneth, I see you raising your hand. Please, over to you. Ah, are you there? He left the meeting. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to say one or two things? Feedback, comments, questions?
Um, okay. Um,
Uh, to me, I think when we knew each other first, I knew you as a graphic designer. I wanted to ask, like, what made you pivot to UI UX and software design? Like, was there a specific reasons that you didn't do you still do graphic design
Ah,
and all that?
do I still do graphic design? Technically, I do. Sorry. This feature Google just has for popping mics up is very nice. I've been talking those. The thing just popped up that you are talking on mute your mic. Okay, thank you. Do I still do graphic design? Technically, yes, but not for commercial reasons, right? I just do that if I need to, and if I have something quick, I just need to spin up, right? Yeah, but what I do most times is I just teach people um, good stuff. So, not like, so I teach people, yeah, yeah, I do that. Then I make sure that they just understand it to a good extent and they can carry on. And then if I get graphic design gigs or jobs and stuff, I just make sure I recommend them and all. So that's why I do in the graphic design space and all. So yeah. But I think you asked two questions. You asked the reason why I pivoted. So I did that because, fun fact, I tried this whole development thing, but it messed up my head. So I had to go to something I could understand first. Then I came back to it. So yeah, I think that answers the question. I see a question. Sorry, Messi, I would pass the mic to you shortly. Did you kindly talk about it? Sorry, did you kindly talk about QA? Oh, QA, that's quality assurance engineering. I doubt I did. I doubt no. I didn't talk about that. Um I must have missed that for some reason, right? So QA, for those who do not know what QA does, a QA makes sure that the software that engineers have built meets solid requirements, meets the requirement basically, and they check out for bugs. I think they also testers, so they check out for bugs and ensure that the whole thing works seamlessly on the application. Okay, so yeah. Messi, you had your hands were raised initially. Please, over to you.
All right. So, sorry, before message come up, Simlex, can you kindly share your screen and like show the messages and questions that they are asking so that when you post the recording, it's also going to be visible there.
All right, sure. Thank you so much, Devote. Thank you.
Sounds good. So, Messi, you can go ahead.
Okay, hi, Simi, good evening. Thank you for the wonderful session. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm somebody who really just started on programming, but I'm trying to pivot to UI UX design because I feel like I'm more inclined to the design aspect of tech. So do you suggest I start out as a graphic designer or I can go straight into UI UX design?
Yeah, so I really think you can do UI UX design directly, right? So there's something I noticed, right, when I pivoted. I just noticed that things were like so easy, sort of, because for graphic design, there are a lot of things you need to think about. You are positioning one guy behind another guy, and the guy needs to, maybe his face was not clear. You have to brighten up his face, give him makeup that he never made, and things. There's also a lot of drama in that graphic design thing, right? But UI UX, on the other hand, you need to understand certain principles, UI UX laws, right? You need to understand how those laws work, and definitely you need to understand your users. Okay, there was something that came up on Twitter sometime. What's the time? Okay. Graphic designers being able to design UI to a good extent, but UI designers were really not able to design graphic content because it just felt so serious to them. So what I'll just say is, if you're starting out, you really can start out as a product designer, UI UX designer. Really, I feel like I mean, you really can just do that, right? But if you say, oh, on the other hand, you really want to do graphics first for one reason or the other, I mean, fine, but just do UI UX and get to work with devs and get to work with product guys and stuff. That's what I think. I mean, other people could have other thoughts. If you have other thoughts, please, you can also like contribute. So yeah, any tools or resources to this? Yes, QA. Yes, Callistos, I am going to send resources and tools for this. Yeah, Messi, did you get my answer?
Oh yes, I did.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. So there's a particular application I was using to understand these laws, X law, Jacob's law, all of those things. I'll also try to drop it on this document before I share it. I think it's going to be very helpful. UX toast also. Yeah, UX toast. Let me just drop it here. I think that is what it is. So yeah. So any other person before we like call it? Yeah, Anastasia says here. By the way, guys, please. We have an ebook. Anastasia has compiled some nuggets in the ebook. She's going to drop it on your group, so please do well to check it out. And yeah, anticipate the Twitter space that will be coming up soon. Thank you. So any other question from anyone? Any other one? I see my guys here. I don't know why they are here, but I think they are here to see whatever I'm doing and to scold me later. Thank you. So any other questions? Okay. I'm not Mr. Simio, I'm just Simlex. Okay. In absence of none, website designers, Framer, WordPress. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, please. I don't. So now, you see these guys. I just feel like it's how do I say this? Okay. So website designers say you do Framer. Okay, yeah. So Messi, someone dropped the link. I'm gonna copy it and drop it on the group. So yeah, you could. It said it's gonna help for the UI UX question. So yeah, concerning Peter's contribution for website designers, I feel like it's straightforward. Just go to Framer. You'll be able to pick it up. I would say you should pick up this skill if you are already a UI UX designer, right? These tools are already tailored to something you would see, especially Framer. WordPress, I'm not a fan. Webflow, solid. Framer, solid. There are even some other guys, I think Bumble or something like that. So yeah, those tools, if you are a UI UX designer, you don't just want to do just UI UX design. It's a solid skill, but you want to add more things to your arsenal. You don't want to write codes, then you should do this, right? But if you just do this alone, I mean, yeah, diversity. So you get it. So for this, I'm going to also drop active links that you can check out for that. So thanks, guys. Any other thing? Is out. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining in. I don't know if the old match is still on, but please, if it is, please join in and no, I won't forget the QA thing. I won't forget the QA thing. Yeah, so join in the match. I don't watch football, I'm sorry, but then bye for now. Yeah, so see you guys later. Safe.